Hello. So this lecture we will discuss about the performance analysis of algorithms. Let's start by looking at how to write an algorithm. You can write an algorithm by using any language, as we have discussed in the previous lecture. There is no requirement that you need to you should know any programming language. Here for writing this algorithm, I am using a C-like syntax. You can use your own syntax for writing an algorithm or a language as well. So this is a simple example for swapping two numbers a and b. I write it as algorithm to represent that it's an algorithm. Algorithm swap. You take a temporary variable. You can see that I'm not initializing variables, temporary variables, or I am not specifying its type, etc. These things are not required in the case of an algorithm, whereas in a program we should specify what is the type of the variable, all these so minute details, etc. need to be required. So then only we can it's very clear that this is at the design stage and the program is written at the implementation stage. But at the implementation stage, you should know what is the type of the variable, how much space the variable will take, and so many things. So this is an algorithm for swapping two numbers, temp equal to a equal to b, and b equal to temp. So you take a temporary variable, you assign a to that, and so on. Once you write an algorithm, the algorithm can be analyzed for its mm, different what you know as different properties, or how much time the algorithm is going to take, how much space the algorithm is going to take, etc. Yeah, the time of an algorithm, execution time of an algorithm is not written or not calculated in terms of the time, the actual execution time. It's found as a function of the as a function of the input variables, or as a function of the number of input variables. So time is not calculated in seconds, microseconds, etc. It's calculated as a function. We will see that the space required for an algorithm, that is also calculated as a function, not as the actual space taken or actual number of bytes the algorithm is required, etc. But in the case of a program, the time and space is the actual running time, actual execution time. We call it uh, how much execution time the algorithm is taking. It is found in number of seconds or number of milliseconds, etc. Space also, in case of a program, it is calculated in terms of bytes or number of words, etc. What are the other properties for which we can analyze an algorithm? It can be in terms of network, how much data it is required, how much bandwidth it requires for running your algorithm, etc. That can be an algorithm analysis. So all these comes under the category algorithm analysis. Algorithm can be analyzed for time taken by the algorithm, the space taken by the algorithm. It can be the network resources that are consumed by the algorithm, or it can be if the algorithm is written for very small gadgets, etc., then it can be analyzed against the power consumption also. And another analysis category is the CPU registers that are required for an algorithm, etc. So all these can be different algorithm analysis parameters. Let's try to analyze this algorithm, the time taken by the algorithm. And the popular algorithm analysis methods are the time and space. So for this time we'll be using only time and space analysis. The time taken by the algorithm, in case of an algorithm, we say that, or we consider that each of the statement in the algorithm, if we consider that it is taking 1 unit of time. We don't consider it how much complex the statement is, or how much what you know as how many variables are included, or how many different operations are being done, etc. So temp equal to a, it's an assignment statement in my algorithm that takes 1 unit of time. A equal to b, another assignment statement, it also takes 1 unit of time. B equal to temp, that also takes 1 unit of time. So total time taken is 3. F of n equal to 3. So we calculate it as a function of the number of variables or number of input values. It's equal to 3. It's not related to, or it's not proportional to, it's not at all related to the number of variables or number of input values. In this case, let's assume that we had two input values a and b, but this is not related to the number of input values. So even if whatever the values of a and b, uh, we the algorithm takes only 3 unit of time. So it is the total time taken by the algorithm, we write it as order of one or constant time. It is not related to the number of input vector or input by variables. The space consumed by the algorithm is also a constant. In this case, we need three variables here: a, b, and temp. A require, let's say a require 1 unit of space, b require 1 unit of space, and temp require 1 unit of space. So total space requirement by the algorithm is also 3. Once again, it is order of one. We write it as order of one for constant time. We will be talking more about the this particular notation while talking about the complexity of an algorithm, or um, the asymptotic notations of time complexity and space complexity. So the algorithm swap is going to take constant time and constant space. So the method just we have described is called a frequency count method. Let's take another example. Algorithm sum. It is going to perform the summation of elements in an array A. So let's say we have an array A, integer. Let's say we have some array, integer or whatever array, and we have the total number of elements in the array as n. Then the summation will be like this: for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, sum is equal to sum plus a of I. We initialize s is equal to 0, and we perform this loop. For I equal to 0, we'll get first element a of 0. For I equal to 1, we'll get the next element a of 1, and so on. Once we complete this loop by running through all the elements in the array while changing I equal to 0 to n minus 1, we will get the sum of all the elements in the array in the variable s, and we return this s. Let's calculate the number of or total time taken by this algorithm. The time can be calculated as s is equal to 0 is just a normal assignment statement. It takes 1 unit of time, and this particular statement, for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, this statement, it is going to execute n plus 1 number of times. For I equal to 0, it will execute once. For I equal to 1, it will execute one more time. For I equal to 2, it will execute one more time, and so on. For I equal to, from I equal to 0 to I equal to n, it will execute this comparison statement and this I plus plus operation. That's what we represent it as n plus 1 number of times. And this particular statement, it is executing n number of times. When I equal to 0, this will be executed once. When I equal to 1, this will be executed once again, and so on. For I equal to n minus 1, this executes again. For I equal to n, it will not execute, so it will execute for n times. Return s, this statement will be executed only once. Now we can calculate the total time taken as a function of n equal to n plus, sorry, 1 plus n plus 1 plus 1. So it is equal to 2n plus 1 2n plus 3 time. So this function f of n is dependent on n. 2n plus 3 is linear on n, a function linear on n. So we say that it is the time complexity of the algorithm is order of n. The time, sorry, we say that the time taken by the algorithm is proportional to n, means that it is order of n. Now the space taken by the algorithm, here we store an array A, then we require a variable n, we require another variable s, we require another variable I. So A takes A is an array, it stores n values, so A takes n bytes. N is a variable, it takes 1 byte. I is another variable which takes 1 unit of space. S another variable which takes 1 unit of space. So total is equal to n plus 3. Once again, it is linear on the variable n, so it means that it is the the space taken by the algorithm is order of n. So this method is known as the frequency count method of analysis. Let's take another example, another sample algorithm for adding two arrays A and B, sorry, two matrices A and B. So in this case, we write two loops for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Then this statement Cij equal to Aij plus Bij. You can see that there are two for loop statements, and this statement is inside that both the for loops. Now let's see how many times each of these statements will be executed, and that corresponds to your time taken by the algorithm. So it is equal to, the first for loop is going to take n plus 1 number of times. Whatever is inside that for loop, it will execute n number of times. So it is n into, this loop is also from 0 to n. So it is n plus 1 again. So it is n into n plus 1 number of times this for loop will be executed. And this statement inside this for loop, which is already inside this for loop, so it is n into, and for this for loop, once again this will execute n times. So Cij equal to Aij plus Bij will execute n into n number of times. So it is n square plus n, then n plus 1. The sum of all these things is 2n square plus 2n plus 1. 2n square plus 2n plus 1, that is the time complexity of the algorithm, which comes out to be order of n square. From this, the largest value will be taken. It has 2n square and 2n, then n raised to 0 as well. So this will be considered as the uh, upper bound on the time complexity. So we say that this is order of n square. This algorithm is order of n square. Let's consider the space complexity. A takes n square number of values, n square number of space. B takes n square number of space. C also takes n square number of space. N, I, and J, all these variables are going to take 1 unit of space. So it is 3n square plus 3. So it turns out that your space consumed by this algorithm is order of n square again. So the largest term will be taken, that is order of n square. Each of these are n by n arrays, so that's what n square. A is an n by n array, B is an n by n array, so the sum also will be written inside an n by n array. Now let's look at the algorithm for multiplication of two matrices. You know the I think you know the algorithm already. For I equal to 0 to n, for j equal to 0 to n, then for k equal to 0 to n, there are three for loops. From this itself you can already calculate the time taken by the algorithm, because this statement is going to be executed multiple times within this for loop. So that is what it is mean by the frequency count, the number of times this statement is executed. Let's see it in detail. The first for loop will be executed n plus 1 time. The second for loop will be executed n into n plus 1 time. The third for loop will be executed n plus 1 time. So it comes out to 2n cube plus 3n square plus 2n plus 1. So we can write it as order of n cube. What about the space complexity? The space complexity is A consumes n by A is an n by n matrix, B is another n by n matrix, C is also an n by n matrix. So it comes out to be 3n square plus 4. So the space complexity of this algorithm is order of n square, whereas the time complexity of the algorithm is order of n cube. So that is about the frequency count method of algorithm analysis. So what I have been talking about was the time and space complexity of or analysis of an algorithm. So you take the algorithm and you consider each statement in the algorithm and you check how much time, how many times each of these statements will be executed, and from that you develop a function which gives you the total time taken by the algorithm. That's it. That is what frequency count method of analysis of an algorithm. For example, in this case, this is a for loop which executes n plus 1 time. This is another for loop which is inside the first for loop. Whatever is inside a for loop will be executed n times. So this for loop will be executed n into n plus 1 time. This is once again another for loop, means that this also will be executed n plus 1 time, but this is inside these two for loops. For I equal to 0, j equal to 0, uh, this will be executed n plus 1 time. For I equal to 0, j is equal to 1, this will be executed n plus 1 time. So total n into n plus 1 time. That is what the frequency count method of analysis of an algorithm. So with that, you can calculate the time complexity. The space complexity is the total space consumed by each of these variables or each of the data in your utilized by the algorithm. If you are utilizing any other data structures other than arrays or anything, for example, if you consider if you do an operation by with the help of a stack, then that also need to be considered. If you are using maybe something some other data structures which we learn later in the class, the space consumed by that data structure also will be utilized, that also need to be considered. So that's all about the time and space complexity of the algorithm. We will see more about the time complexity and space complexity of the algorithm and how we can calculate the time and space complexity, and this notation, like asymptotic notations of the analysis also will be looking next. Thank you.